Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Coping with Life, Disabled and Mentally Ill. I am your host, Scott. Hello, everybody. Hopefully you're doing amazing on this wonderful Saturday. Changes. That's what we're going to talk about today. Changes. So, I've been doing this podcast for almost 2 years, going on 3 in May. And there are changes coming. Let's talk about it. And I would love your feedback, good or bad. So I got an email from Spotify saying that I'm no longer eligible for monetization coming up after 30 days. I do not meet the current requirements. And I immediately was like, I may have had a panic attack, and I don't know. Do I hang up my boots, so to say? This podcast is not only helping other people, it's also me being able to discuss things and get into the groove. But it's not easy for me to, do this every week. It's, it takes time and effort and brain power. And, earning, 3 pennies a week, to me, that's working hard. And I don't know. I want to continue. I do. And my goal is to continue. And from amazing people that I have told about the situation, they're like, money or not, you help people. Your exuberance of positivity. You are somebody who is passionate, and you're not a psychologist. You are part of the psych ward. And I'm doing the best that I can. And this is kind of a blow to me. And I wish, things, good would happen, and chasing my dreams and just living the best life, but it gets to a point where I just slammed my hand on my computer. I do apologize on that. So again, things I can't control, fidgeting, and my hand moved up and smacked my laptop. But I do the best that I can, and I want to help other people. I am passionate of, what I know, and, giving everybody hugs, and, some days I'm, a little rambunctious, hey, I'll do this, I'll do that. And then most days I just hide, not feel good and whatnot. But reading this email, and I don't get me wrong, Anchor and Spotify, no hard feelings to them because I understood it, which I give them that. And it's like, hey, we are changing things. You are no longer eligible. And I get it. And I do not, promote my podcast very well. I don't, especially with a lot of the scam emails that I get of, do this for, all these listeners. And it's like, no, I'm good. If people want to listen to me, seek me out. But it's really hard for, somebody who has, 0 followers. Hopefully you know what I mean. Somebody who is, if you know me or if you don't know me, I'm all over the place. One minute I could be really happy, then next moment I am crying in the corner because I don't have cookies. I don't know why. That's the analogy that I chose. Cookies do sound fantastic at this moment. And I don't have any. But just knowing that, oh, you know what? And that's okay. And I don't know what's going forward. I don't know what I want to continue, but at the same time, I'm a planner and I'm somebody who just, tries to figure things out. And I want to work on other projects that I want to focus on, but everything that I was focusing on, this was the staple of, I do my best to be here every week and give you as much time as my body and my mind will allow. And there's a lot of growth in the last 2 years of somebody who has no skills when it comes to, audio engineering. I'm trying. And just these setbacks, and one of the reasons why I want to discuss this is because of my history of, my history of disappointments. I'm used to them. And, I was like, I'm good. I'm so I was really looking forward to, 2 years done, going on to year 3. And trying to think of, catchy things like year 2 is Journey into the Unknown. This is definitely the unknown. I couldn't foresee this. And At the same time, I understand Spotify changing things up and they want to focus on the bigger creators. I am not. I do not have episodes with 100 listeners. I have 3. I have 3. I care about each every one of you. And that means a lot to me. Actually, it really does. It really does. Now, some of the other requirements, as I said, is have episodes. I have one every week. And then I don't know about the time. After reading some of the requirements that I don't fall under, I kind of stopped reading those and just kept on reading. Again, not mad. It is what it is, eh? It takes a lot to make my attitude plummet. But at first, when it first came in my inbox, I felt sad. I'm gonna be honest, because it's like, oh, okay. But this is something that I'm passionate about, because it's me. I want to not only help people who are quote unquote normal people who don't have to struggle with, their brain and all the stuff that is going on. Maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not you. And I do not understand. Because I go through my own war in my head. And yet I try and find the light. And I try and spread all the good vibes. Make everybody smile. That's my goal. That's something that I've always been. And one of the things that a few people have told me over the years is, you are the same person you were 20 years ago. Not really. My personality has definitely improved. I am a lot more energetic and I want to lift people up. But no. I'm quite happy. And 20 years ago, I was 15. So yeah, I've changed a lot. But, at the same time, yeah, I can see where they would say that I haven't, but, I've been through a lot, especially in the last 20 years, that has molded me into a better clay. We can always improve our lives. We can always find our faults and work on them. Because life is not only short, but it's also time to grow and understand, mistakes that you've made along the way. Don't repeat them. Or in my case, always repeat them. Until it sticks. But, so, changes are happening. And to what capacity, I have no idea. No idea at all. But I want to make people laugh. Gonna make people have a good time. That's my goal. That's what I do. And I'm ready for, the next chapter. And being able to be raw and unfiltered in the essence of speaking my mind, of just, I know I've said this a lot in the last couple of weeks, but one of my main focuses is to showcase the way I speak, and the way that I think, and the processes that I go from, point A to point W to B. Eventually I'll get to my location. I don't know when. I don't know where that is. But that's one of the reasons why I love not editing myself. And being able to showcase that the way that I have has made me feel amazing. Because when you listen to other podcasts or other videos and everything is so polished, everything is so perfect, you don't see a flaw. I'm sorry to burst your bubbles, but I'm not perfect. I am not a flawless diamond, not a flawless topaz, not a flawless amethyst. I am flawed. I am broken. Yet I can still be here every week and smile, which, I do the best that I can. And I do the best. And that's all that I can ask for myself personally. And one of the things that I love doing is, rooting for you. Yes, you. Because, I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to be happy. And I only know what I know. And I'm glad the road that I have traveled to land here today. Not happy. But I'm grateful. And I say not happy because, some of the choices there that, I would have liked to pan out, that is something that I go, ooh, that's where I want to go, as the path that I went farther away from, the goal that I want. And maybe one day I can share some of those things with y'all. That would make me happy. But I'm me. I don't believe in, doing clickbait titles. I don't believe in faking or manipulating your brain to retain your attention, because that's not who I am. And that, to me personally, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm going to talk about this later. No, I'm good. I instantly, when I see these tactics, I just leave. It's like, nah, I'm good. That's me. I am weird, but at the same time, I am me. And, maybe I'll change my mind one day. I don't know. And that's okay if, somebody changes their mind. And, you gotta live the best life for you. And when I go to the store, I'm respectful for everybody. If I know their name and they're in earshot, I'm not gonna yell across the store. But if they're, maybe an arm's distance away, I'll say hello. I'll put their name in that greeting. And even if they're not working, if there's somebody they're out, while I walk by, greet, because, I'm somebody who wants to spread the positivity, because, it's a human thing to do, is be respectful to one another, and just be nice, you can say what you want about me, but I am me. I care about everybody. I do. And I refuse to be taken advantage of again. And if people are in, doing things that have burned me before, my attitude does shift. And it's like, why do you act like this? Like, you are doing a tactic that has, affected me before, and I'm good. The fight or flight, I usually fly and just try and figure things out. And that's just me. But at the same time, I see it, I know it. Sometimes I, keep my mouth shut. Doesn't affect me. I'm very outspoken, because I want everybody to be happy. And, so changes are coming. I don't know what your capacity. I don't know. And I will be honest. I give this person credit. They're like, well, technically, you do your podcast for free anyways. Because, a couple pennies every week doesn't really amount to much. you know what? I mean, they're not wrong. But it was also the, hey, I get to talk about disabilities and my life and how I deal with things. And there was a little incentive, little motivation. But most things, it just gets ripped away. And I have to find other ways to motivate myself. And it's a lot. But again, that's in a few weeks when it goes into effect. And it also made me think of doing things because you want to do them, not because you have to do them. And that's a great way to think about it, actually. Because I want to do this. And if people can find help or maybe put me on and fall asleep. I don't know. But I'm proud of myself this past 2 years. I talked about some heavy subjects. I had a guest on, which is good, because it's really hard for me to talk to new people. Especially talking to people once. And they live their lives, I live my life. But it's a great learning experience, absolutely. And I'm excited about the future. It's a journey into the unknown and how we handle things and how we handle with differences and changes. Yeah. And just finding the best things going forward. So, how are you doing on this wonderful Saturday? Hopefully you're doing well. Are you safe? Are you doing okay? Love the people in your life. Because you never know when they're gone. Because just know that the world works in mysterious ways. I'm gonna put it here right now. It would be amazing if all this stuff is happening and I'm worried about everything that I'm currently worried about, and then tonight my lottery ticket for the Powerball jackpot, I win it. The amount of change, the amount of everything that happens, to a lot of people who may look at, the big number and then, do the taxes and sees, what would be left. And then for me being who I am, I would take, 30-year annuity. And it's like, oh, that's not a lot a year. To me, that would be way more enough. And I would be able to do a lot. That would be amazing. If everything that I've been through, everything that I've endured today, my one Powerball ticket that I have, I I do treat myself. And it would be amazing and a fresh breath of air if I were to win the Jackpot Powerball tonight. And you know that's just me being honest. Because I'm always honest. And I have to breathe. Because for myself, I like to think long term. And there's a lot of things that happen. And for people who want to know, so even though the big number is big number, and if you are in states that that are lottery states, you know, they all talk about the big number, and then it's like estimated cash value. Well, then you cut that basically in half. Then, you know, I live in Oregon. It would be roughly 35-ish million lump sum. Nah, I'm going to be honest. That's too much money. And this is if I was the only person to win, right? It's like, that's way too much money for little me all at once. So, what I would do is 30-year annuity. And then, you know, I have plans. But after taxes, I would just get under $1 million for the first year. Knowing me, that would, you know, set me up for life, basically. And then I would be able to help many people. And then a lot of the other stuff that I like to do anonymously, because, you know, I don't want to be renowned. I don't want to be famous. I like doing things anonymously, and that's something that I'm proud of. You know, I'm not a knight on a white horse. I'm the dude in a sombrero riding a donkey going backwards. I'm beating to my own drum. And that's one of the reasons why I love myself. Everybody's talking about these new TV shows and the new stuff that everybody's watching, and I'm like, I'm happy with, you know, the era that I'm stuck in, the stuff that I enjoy. And I'm proud of myself, of, you know, how much I've grown, and the stuff that I'm currently focusing on. You know, this entire year is basically mapped up. You know, I'm going to be making my way, getting my dentures. That is a long process. With the snow and ice the last couple of days, canceled my appointment that I had, so that's pushed back. I'm okay with that. It's just another roadblock, another hindrance. And I gotta move forward. You know, it is what it is. And I'm gonna go forward. You know, that's all I can go. Or donkey goes backwards. If Donkey wants to go backwards, then I'm along for the ride. I am along for the ride. But it would be amazing for me to, win the Powerball jackpot tonight. That, even though I would wait until, June or July to collect, build my team, do everything right. But that would be amazing. Very humble, very, very smart, very intelligent, do things the proper way. And, be able to do things that I'm not able to do now. Because it would be amazing to win the Powerball jackpot, collect in June, July, and be able to afford to go to Japan, have a great time, and not worry about other things. And then help a few other people in my life that are really needing help, that, that's something that I would love to do. Because that's my personality. Set me up for, long-term success. And just be me. Especially when I can do it anonymously. That makes it even better. But at the same time, it's a pipe dream. It's not impossible, and it's not realistic to anticipate something that is improbable. I hopefully you may understand, I don't go out spending, $900 on lottery tickets every single day. No, I have a relatively very small budget. But I do get a one here and there when I can. And it's something that, it is entertainment. Because it's like, I'm going to change my life. The world's going to bless me with this winning. That it's like, is it gonna happen? I wish, but that's something that I get to look forward to. Like I look forward to Saturdays. That's just me. I like being able to. It would be nice to, be able to do a few things without, without pushing things back. But at the end of the day, I do things that makes me happy. And to me, that's okay. And I encourage everybody to chase your dreams. If it's realistic, there's nothing wrong with it. And, so if you play the lottery, I hope you win today. I hope you win Monday. Whatever it may be, I hope you win. Spreading that good luck, the good vibes. That to me, that's important. I know this may sound weird, but if it was me versus somebody else and one of the people had to win, yeah, it would be nice to win, but if it's somebody else, so you know what? You probably can do this much better. That's the way that I think. Maybe I'm too nice, but you know, that's something that I enjoy because I you know, I love everybody. I care about everybody, and I want everybody to succeed. And so, however, for right now, and there, it would be amazing. And now, that my brain just asked a great question. My brain just asked, if I won tonight, what would happen to coping with life? That is a wonderful question. That was a question that my brain really hasn't digested, except a random question to myself. And so, hypothetically, the podcast would still continue, but I would be able to do a lot more. You know, I would be able to get a little words. The words are hard. A little bit better setup. And then I would be able to do a lot more with this podcast. And I'm gonna be honest, you know. Excuse me. I would be able to help more people, affect a lot more people, because hypothetically, throwing it out there, let's say all my numbers hit today, and then I wait until June or July to do nothing, make sure that all my duckies are in a row. Quack, quack, quack. But I would then be able to get, you know, a few shirts made with, you know, a QR code, coping with life. But, so I live in a state where you cannot remain anonymous. You must have, you know, there's no real way to not be outed as a winner. So I would opt for the press conference and do everything, because, you know, it's going to be out there anyways. But I would be able to advocate mental health more. I would be able to help more people. And yeah, you will have the people who will listen or try and, you know, get money. Nobody's going to get anything from me. Just straight up. And if you know what I mean by that, hopefully you do. If not, you know, one day I will be able to explain that. But so with that said, with, you know, the platform, because I've reached out to many entities and they're like, nah, you know, this isn't something that we would want to promote. And yet you had a couple of zeros behind my name. you add a, Powerball jackpot winner, coping with life. Obviously, it would be my legal name, but, I like coping with life a lot better in this analogy. You add a couple of zeros behind my name, then everybody will listen. Everyone will go, oh, look at this amazing person who has, technically I would be a millionaire. Technically. But it's like, oh, look at this person who is a millionaire talking about mental health. And yet when I'm struggling on disabilities, trying to, change the world, nobody listens. You add a couple zeros behind the name, everyone wants to listen. Think about that for a second. Excuse me, I need to cough. But think about it for a second. That, people are influenced by, people of power, stature, money. Nobody really wants to listen to somebody struggle, who's broke, has nothing really to do to society, even though I have much to give with, stuff that I've been through, the ups and downs, the stuff that I'm going through right now. And yet, you add a couple of zeros to your name. From $5 in my bank account to almost $1 million, people are going to listen. So it would, in essence, be more motivation for me to continue this, even though a lot of people would have it should have been me. Every time, somebody's won anything near me, or I'm always so happy, and genuine happiness, genuine congratulations. And because there's no point being disappointed. You should, it's like winning, having a team that you don't like winning a championship. I might be bummed for a few seconds, but I'm proud. The Super Bowl was a couple of weeks ago. I rooted for the Eagles. The Eagles lost. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. Not a big fan of them. Why? Because my team is in that same conference. I like the Denver Broncos. We didn't do too well this past year. But, it's all that congratulations. The Daytona 500. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. won. Fantastic. He's not my driver. He's not Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch finished, I don't know where. But I'm still happy. I'm still proud of, these people doing great things, even if it's not, people that I root for. That's my positivity. But one of the things that I'm proud of is who I am. And sometimes I am very animated, and then bummed. But that's okay. And sometimes you can use it as a joke. But so for me, it would be more incentive, more motivation to continue this podcast and the other projects that I'm doing because I would have more of a platform to help more people who are struggling and put it up front. Because, press conferences are aired. A lot of people would want to talk to me. And especially wearing, a t-shirt made for, mental health, having a mental health podcast, being able to say you're disabled, mentally ill. Mental illnesses are not fun to live with. And I don't understand why people want to fake mental illnesses for clout. I don't understand that. And I want to do good things. And if I were to win the Powerball Jackpot Lottery tonight, and I would be able to change the world a person at a time. Because being able to get on a microphone and being able to discuss more and being able to bring more people on as guests and being able to grow but also help other people. So, and that's something that, I'm 100% focused on. I'm going to do my best to continue. But it's weird when I reach to people or talk to, and a big flaw with me is I'm honest. And if somebody asks a question, I'm going to be honest. And that's the way that you should. A big example, a huge example of this is I had an opportunity to reach out to a few people who were looking to appear on podcasts. And I reached out, and in the body of the message, I'm not the best typer. I'm not the best person with words. But I'm like, hey, I have this mental health podcast. But at the same time, I'm letting you know I have an average listener base of 3. Now, excuse me. The first 2 people, I had an average listener base of 2. So now I have 3, and I'm happy about that. These people who, they don't see value in, a small podcast that has an average listener base of 3. Because, they want to either find a platform with a higher amount of listeners. Excuse me, I have to cough it. My apologies. Or get something out of it. It's either clout chasing or whatnot. Now, one of the people, they actually responded. And to this day, that person had been the only person to actually formally deny me. And I'm grateful for that. And good luck with it. And I think my podcast at this point was maybe 5 weeks old, 6 weeks old. Now, now I've done an episode for almost 2 years in May. It's February. The words are hard. February 25th, and I'm going to be honest. I'm looking forward to May, because something about me that I will openly admit. I like anniversaries. I like special days, things that are meaningful. And even if, people are no longer in my life or whatnot, I remember those dates. I remember them vividly, and because I cherish them. Even if people are no longer in my life, yeah, I cherish them. That's just a little bit about me. I am a caring individual. So there you have it. If I were to win the Powerball Jackpot Lottery tonight, I would use it as a positivity platform and be able to do things that I would be able to do, especially anonymously, and live the best life that I can. So that's me being honest. So with that said, I'm getting a little antsy. I need to cough more, and my body's like, I don't want to talkie no more. And being restless and brain says no talkie. I don't want to talkie no more. Which, I will listen to. And that mental fatigue. The thing with me is I do episodes as long as my body is able to, and I'm being restless, so I'm going to wrap up right now. I love each and every one of you. I care about everybody, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing good in the world. I hope you are cheering on people, and tell the people in your life you love them, because you never know when they're gone. Wrap them under your wings. Lift people up, because tearing people down is no fun. I love you all. I care about each and every one of you. And until next week, which is another Saturday next week. Wow. I'm excited for next week. Don't know what next week will bring. But thank you for an episode about, changes and wishful thinking. So, love you all. Until next week, enjoy this wonderful Saturday into the unknown. I wish you all the smiles, and I bid you adieu.